Hello folks and welcome back to Banished. I'm your host Choo as always, and as you may have noticed, we didn't start off where we had originally left off, and this is because I film, as you may have noticed, I mean my videos are 20-minute chunks, and I had about 45 minutes of footage, so I kind of decided to just throw away the last 5 bits because it really wasn't that important. So anyhow, I skipped ahead a little bit and we are now here. Just a short recap. I mean, currently we sit at 27 people. We had about 7 kids at the time at which we had left off, and we built a wooden bridge over here to just sort of get over to that general area, although currently I'm not really using it for much. We built our little town up a little bit, and in my time I've had Ooh, this is actually a great opportunity. And in my sort of spare time here, what I've done is that I've built up our infrastructure a little more. I built a hunting camp over here, and this is generating us a little bit of leather and a little bit of venison, which is meat from deer, I believe. And I've built a forester lodge here, although according to the manual and according to other people, these buildings aren't actually that effective. The main point of them is for the sake of them being able to plant trees. So we have one of those, and well, I've expanded my little trade network. I'm gonna see if we can buy 2 units of cattle. I've expanded my little network over here, so we have a few hunting cabins over here and a gatherer's hut, and because this is effectively fresh wilderness, these 2 locations are generating me quite a lot of extra goods. The only problem with them is that they're quite far away from where we are originally sort of living, so I'm building 2 small houses just to sort of hold up the population there. And alright, now we should be able to trade for 2 units of cattle, so I'll make that trade. And now that we have 2 units of cattle, we should be able to build a little cattle farm, so that is good. That is actually perfectly on time. So that is very, very excellent right now. We're still floating up quite a lot of food. Very, very nice. These houses are getting built up, and hopefully the people who work inside these hunting cabins and stuff will live here now. And I also built a stockpile between them just for the sake of expediency, right? So that's pretty much our little village here at a glance. I'm actually going to get a detail of woodworkers to harvest some trees over here. But I think it'd be an excellent opportunity to sort of start building some of those pastures since we have 2 cows now. So I'm going to structure a large area over here. I'm actually going to make this slightly smaller because I don't want to spend that much wood. 40 units of wood, I guess. And we'll build a pasture here. That'll allow us to hopefully raise some cattle, slaughter them, get some more leather and some more stuff like that for the purpose of selling them. And as soon as the laborers are done over here chopping down woods and stuff, they will then move over here and then they'll build this pen, hopefully. I see another merchant boat. Is it going to stop by? Nope. So that is sort of that. You know, I've already tried to record this twice, and I ran into an issue where my houses would constantly hoard food, and I figured out that it's actually the AI is programmed to do that. It's because they sense that your village doesn't make enough food, so then they hoard it because they fear that there's not going to be enough in the future. Kind of a funny little thing there. But anyhow, now that we have this like large area of just people hunting and gathering food, it should be fine. I think we're good. We have 2 fishing docks, 2 hunting cabins, and 2 gatherers' huts. So I think we should have at least enough food to last us for a little bit of time. Let's see what we don't need currently. We don't need a blacksmith and we don't need a trader, so I think I'll get those 2 guys to go and get us some more wood to build this pasture. I was kind of hoping of getting some seeds so that we can grow some crops. But this is good. This is not bad at all. And I'll get these laborers to just sort of strip down the woods over here. Our food supply is decent. Should last us enough through the winter. And when we get some more population, I guess we'll build a few more food gathering operations, I suppose. And there's the single builder building this pasture, which then we can use to make some more food. Yeah, food inside this game, I found it to be just the most absolute critical thing out there. Just simply because of how much your people consume. I thought 1 or 2 of these fishery docks would be enough, but apparently not. Apparently you just need a ton of it. Alright, so that pasture is coming along nicely. I see that we have 5 laborers now, so looks like we have a small population increase, so that's good. And we'll use these laborers to build a few more things now that once this pasture is complete. I think we'll need a herbalist, because I see that the average health of our citizens is getting a little too low for my liking. And we'll probably build that here. And what a herbalist will do is that a herbalist will generate herbs. Those herbs can be eaten as a sort of nutrition. And the game does strive for a balanced diet. You do need to have your carbs, your protein, and your other stuff as a sort of guideline to keep your guys healthy. So currently, like, our guys have a lot of fish, they have a lot of berries and stuff, so they're lacking on carbs and really what's it called, just nutrients in general, right? So with that sort of said, a herbalist shack would really help us out in that area. And what we're going to do here is that we're just going to mount this building, and let's pluck it down over here. So, and then the builder will build this, connect it up to the road network like that. And once that is done, we'll probably assign one guy to do that, one person to do the herbalist job. And then I think it'll be time to build a few more houses. Following that, I think it'll be good if we built a couple of or a single tailor to convert all of the leather that we have into jackets and stuff like that to into like fur coats and stuff. What am I telling you? Sorry. I mean, hey, maybe they're just incredibly fashionable medieval people. Maybe they do have leather jackets. And I'm gonna build the tannery or whatever tailor thing just right there, just right across the road from the cattle, just to intimidate them. Something like that. I don't know. I'm wondering if these cattle actually differentiate between male and female. Like, do you necessarily need to work? And I guess we'll increase the amount of firewood that we will keep at stock, seeing as how I expect our population to increase by a little bit in the near future. Speaking of which, I think it's time to add a few more houses. So let's build 2 right here. And the laborers will get on that. And afterwards, I think it's time to get some more logs. So we'll come over here and we'll take out everything there. Oh, that's right. And we were supposed to build that tannery. Keep on forgetting. Or that tailor. Looks like our storehouse is getting pretty full, yeah. So now we will need a secondary storehouse, and I plan on putting it over here. Now these storehouses are pretty expensive, so I think we'll just put that one here for now. And what should we do? Tons of things are coming at us at once. So I think we'll just try to build these buildings as fast as we can with whatever we have here. I have a small group of laborers now that practically everyone else is doing their own thing. And let's see, what is this guy selling? Beef and pears. I guess we'll add some pears to our diet. We'll trade some roots for that. And evidently we have tons of foodstuffs, so that is very, very good news. Enough to make me take away 2 hunters to go into laboring, so they will hopefully help us out here by building up all of these little buildings and gathering rare earth metals and other stuffs. Yeah, because we're also going to need a lot of stone, so I think I'll designate all of that to be just sort of a clear-cut operation. Over here, our builder, our one single builder who's been building buildings forever, is going to build a tailor for us. Yeah, I'm gonna guess that almost every single person inside the village is like running around with not very well-made clothes, so I think we will get some coats going. The other thing is that some of the people aren't really that healthy, so I think I'll double up on herbalists. That way we'll float a large amount of herbs. Maybe that'll help things out by a bit. Really need some stone at the moment. Alright, well, the village seems to be going along nicely. We have almost a little too much food, so that's good. We could probably trade away some of the food, actually, in a little bit. Trade away some of the whatever we have here. Probably vines and a lot of vines and yeah, and a lot of fish. I'm wondering if you can actually run out of things to hunt on the map. I mean, historically, it's happened where I am around here. Which would be Alberta, Canada. They used to have a whole bunch of buffalo or bison, or there's a lot of different words to call them. But they were these large brown mammal animals. They sort of resemble cattle, very, very vaguely, but they had the general appearance, right, of 4 legs, typically really heavy and just filled with meat, and they were practically hunted to extinction over here. So I'm wondering if that can happen to like the whatever things, the deer inside this game. Probably not though. How is our herbalist doing? It is it's getting out some herbs. It's not getting a particularly large amount, but it's doing something. It's helping us out. All right. Yeah, all of these buildings just lack are just construction tasks, so we'll let them do their thing, and I think I'll get the labor reserve to just dig out that area. And in the meantime, our builders, yeah, both of these buildings appear to be fairly finished, so they just need to be constructed, and they'll be ready to go. Are you guys keeping track of the amount of herbs used? Because from my perspective, I mean, as soon as those warehouses are filled with herbs, they just instantaneously deplete. To me, that signifies the fact that we do require probably a second herbalist, simply because, yeah, herbs are big in demand right now. And soon, I think we're going to need some firewood as well, because that woodcutter is using up a ton of logs. Oh, and we have another thing of cattle, so that is good. Excellent progress in this little town. The only thing we need now is really just more hands to work this place. And perfect, now we can have one tailor to do tailor-related things. And once the storehouse completes, I think all we will really need is just some more resources for constructing firewood and all of that stuff. The average health of our little town is going up, so we might not need a second herbalist, so that's good. We might be able to start making some bigger and better things like what do you call them? Like a town hall or a marketplace or something like that. Yeah, maybe we might be able to make one of those in a little bit. But for now, I think we'll just finish off these buildings. Look at that one single builder go, just going hard at the construction. I think we'll actually keep... Nah, I was gonna say we should probably keep a single trader on standby, just so that we can move some of the meat over there, but don't know if it's worth it. Alright, well we have 4 laborers, and we do need some more forest. We need some more logs, so I think we'll just sort of strip down this area over here. It's close to the storage areas too, so that's good. Herbs are steading out. We have a surplus right now from the looks of it. Not everybody's needing them, so that's good. Don't need any more tools for the next little while, so that is good. And the builder can join the labor brigade here, building their things, so that is also good. So this village is progressing very, very, very nicely. Let's just take a look at it from the top-down perspective. So we have a nice little city center here, clustered around around the blacksmith and the woodcutters area. Nice little idyllic town place here. A little pasture farm going on over here, and a little intermediate area here on the outskirts of the town. Let's see how many coats they've made so far. They made 24 units of clothing, so that'll last our guys a long time. I'm gonna see whether or not our people have some new clothes now. They still appear to have regular... Oh, some of them are starting to have fair clothing now. Yeah, so that's an improvement. Yeah, a few of them are starting to have coats and all, so that's good. Got 2 coats entered the storehouse, 3 now. I assume that they're going to get picked up by somebody with, yeah, they're getting picked up now. So perfect. Our little town is progressing nicely. The labor brigade is moving out and they are sweeping this area. And I think what I'll do is that I'll assign one person to the Forester Lodge, but this one person, his sole job is to just plant trees, and then later on we'll just get an army of laborers to cut them down, because it's so much more effective. So we'll do something like that. That's a bit of a long-term investment, but I think it's still worth it. And I'm gonna assume that we're going to get maybe one more cattle. Oh, actually, we already have one more cattle. It's just a really, really tiny one. So that is excellent news again. And what else could be better than getting another house over here, so we'll do that. And the merchant